It's WG bringing you SNB, and it is time for Night of the Hunt again. It is the third Night of the Hunt challenge, in which it is this time a speedrun challenge. You need to kill a single boss as fast as possible and get the best time. Hunt reward wise, you need to be able to beat him in 100 seconds to get the maximum reward. Once more, keep in mind you have Saturday and Sunday, every single one of these open, so you still have, with today being a Wednesday, you still have Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday to develop your account further. There's no need to be scared about any of these. And yeah, let's pretty much already get into the talk about this stage. So considering the reward is being able to beat it in 100 seconds, this is pretty much the speedrun strat, right? The way we reached rank 1 or anything the like. And that is because of the Oath of Torment. The Oath of Torment allows us to gain 5 blood souls, meaning we can start our combos earlier, meaning we can use our combos earlier, meaning we can kill the boss earlier. What you should use instead, if you aren't using the Oath of Torment, is use the Inspiration. What Inspiration does is it upgrades the bonuses given by your a cappella to physical damage up and magical damage up major, because it overrides her, which are only normal. So you're gaining like 45% of each rather than 30%. And yes, it could also work if you take out a cappella and just put in a healer. That one is then also going to be applying these buffs. Outside of all of them, the other ones, you definitely don't want the Faded Moon. You can consider the Crescent Moon, you can consider the Shining Moon, but skip out on the Saint Shroud, and this one is a must-have. When using an ultimate, you increase the attack by 20%, which means the character that uses the ultimate will just hit that much harder. Alright, so it's once more tier list time. Let me briefly recap who's popular in this game mode. So, Mass. Mass is supremely popular. You'll be seeing it in the fight, but the main reason why she's popular is because she dashes in, applies it to a single target. She'll be able to cheapen her ultimate, and when she does explode, she has the 50% damage increase on the single target, and her ultimate does have quite high multipliers, so mass suiciding, because it's a speedrun, isn't actually an issue. Then we have a cappella. A cappella is once again there for the crit rate buff, for the magic and the physical damage buff. Very important if you are selecting or deciding to not select the moderate buffs. Then you have Lamia for single target damage, she's still very amazing. And then Octavia. Octavia is there because Octavia has magic damage taken up by 30%. So the combo of Octavia, Lamia, a cappella, Mass, or better said, Mass, Lamia, Octavia all do magic damage, and they are pretty much what kills the boss. Transcendent Hearty, she's a single target beast at the end of the day, so she had to be there. You can definitely build a successful Transcendent Hearty comp. Then we have Daikalo here for fun, because Daikalo is very useful against single targets. She can help, and she might actually enable TR Hearty, but this remains to be seen. But I expect her to be quite decent here, and she will release before the event ends if everything stays the same. Ayagaris is also going to be really good. Gilrain, it is pretty much a raw single target challenge. So Gilrain, Saint Gilrain, Transcendent Noah, Ressa, Triss, Piera, all of them are really good at dealing with single targets. And you have Van Helsing, Thibault for the crit rate resistance down, which can be quite useful. And then you got a Joanne, just because she does a lot of damage, right? The rest of the characters who are kind of left out, they all don't do as much damage. Cisia also mostly AoE focused. Bella not necessary for any like tanking shenanigans. Amy, you also don't need Amy for the attack speed. Yeah. So the reason why Starry-Eyed Iona, Friedrich and Iona are in here is just because they're cheap costs for the new moon, right? Cheap new moon, 3 new moon, 3 new moon, 3 new moon. Any of them does well, but having a cheap new moon does help with your rotation. So now that you have an idea of who's good, let me show you the run and show you how it's done. Alright, let's quickly talk about gear priorities, artifact priorities, who on what. Your best gear goes on Mass if you want to try the speedrun strat, otherwise just leave out Mass and put it on your best single target damage dealer, which might be Lamia, which might be Transcendent Hearty, someone like that. But for us, our best gear is on Mass, And on top of Mass, we also have the Philosopher's Stone, so we have a 10% higher chance to crit, which with Acapella together gives us a 1 in 3 chance to crit with her ultimate, which is the goal. For Otavia, we have the Eye of Truth, so there's her basic attacks deal more damage. And gear priority goes Mass, then Lamia. Otavia gets your best medium gear set, and the rest of the gear truly doesn't make a difference because once again, these guys aren't your DPSs. So let's go into the fight. Let me show you a run and how I do it, and then you might be able to get some tips out of it. So yeah, in the starting hand we want Acapella, we want Starry-Eyed, and then we are going to be saving cost. So the reason why we're saving cost is first we get our buffs out, they build up, we move them around, so we have it out of the way, we have the moon buffs and such build up, but we're actually waiting for 9 cost so that we can trigger all ultimates within the window where the magic damage taken up moderate is applied. You see how it says 6-second duration? So that's the reason why we're waiting. So you see the timer still running, and then it's going to go pretty quick. We wait for 9. We go in with 1 ult, 2 ults, 3 ults, and then we finish it off with another ultimate from Otavia. And then if Mass's ultimate crits, this is already a done run. Because these runs are so short, we can run it until we see a Mass crit, just so you know what this looks like. And as far as I heard, if you had a higher Mass, our Mass is currently 1 copy maximum. That's it on a Mass. If you had a higher Mass, you could apparently one-shot the boss, right? You can then get into a situation where you're able to kill the boss after just a Otavia Lamia Mass rotation, for example. So once again, we're waiting for 9 to start with 1, 2, 3. Let's check out Mass, see if she crits. Once again, we would be pretty much close to 0 if this was a Mass crit. You see, it's a pretty repetitive thing, and I don't know if I would recommend it all that much, but yeah, I'm kind of guessing you wanted to see how we were able to get such a score. And yeah, let's see if we can actually get a Mass crit. If it doesn't happen here, I just jump to a time in which we actually get it. So 1, 2, 3. Let's check it out. Close enough. You see how we then used one Otavia ultimate and we were able to kill. So I think we actually got a Mass ult kill right there. You can see our time is just slightly shorter than our best time. And then damage split wise, the best run I had was actually with 600,000 on Mass, around 400,000 on Otavia, and less damage on Lamia. So there is some RNG potential to this because you're dealing in the 30% crit chances. But yeah, that's the way I was able to clear this stage. Other units that are going to be able to help you and specifically get closer to that 100. Make sure you don't use the blood one. Only if you want to do like a speed run do you use the 5 blood. The 5 blood becomes less and less important the longer the fight. Make sure you rather get the increased physical damage bonuses if you need those. But keep in mind, you do want to use the Unfettered Rage. So that's already it, and as always, we see each other in the next one. Peace!